Hey y'all, it's Basharam and I am back with another video. I typically do not do like reading plans or TBRs because I'm such a mood reader, but this month I wanted to try something a little different. I know before in the past I used to do like currently reading and hopefuls, like putting stuff out there that maybe like I was interested in reading that month, but was not pressuring myself to get to those things. I kind of wanted to bring that back so you all have kind of like a clear idea of like how I'm picking things throughout the month, which is kind of in line with what I've been trying to do with like all the stuff that I have been reading, or all the stuff I've been doing in these recent reads videos. So just trying some, different things on the channel, just doing things that make me happy, because right now in this day and age in the world that we're living in, you have to do what makes you happy, and I want to give this a try because I think it may bring me joy. So this is going to be rather chaotic. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that there are books everywhere on the floor, and I even have a list typed up in a Word document for stuff that I do not physically have. It's something else. This is just something else. And a lot of this too is because of the fact that I am going to be participating with the Queer Romance Readathon, and that is being led, it was created by Bethany, but Bethany was kind enough to invite a whole host of us, including Perpetual Pages, Tamika's Library, Etu Brody, Thor Wants Another Letter, Pucks and Paperbacks, Happy for Now, myself, Neeks, and Dynamic Dylan. That's everybody's channel's names, who I will link down below in the description box. We are doing this from June 13th through the 20th, and the live show is going to be June 20th at 6 p.m/9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am also going to be hosting sprints on my channel, which I will leave the date and the time down in the description box below. I'm really excited. There's a bingo board. There's a lot of great prompts. So some of the books that I have on here, I will be reading the week of June 13th through the 20th. And of course, you're going to see everything that I'm reading, because that will clearly be a part of the weekly recent reads videos that I do, which I've been having a lot of fun doing those. I don't know if people are really enjoying them, but I'm loving it. Like I'm loving recording those. I'm having fun doing it, which is important. All right, so the first thing that we're going to start with here is what I have currently, like, what am I currently reading right now? This is the question. What am I currently reading? And then we'll get into some stuff that I have on my Libby account. I'm not going to go into Hoopla. I'm not going to go into Any Play because there's a whole bunch of chaos there. I'm not going to even go into what I have currently checked out from the library. We're just going to talk about what I'm currently reading and what I have queued up on my Libby account. So the first thing that I'm currently reading is this bad boy, and this is The Lost Hero, which is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series. I did take the jacket off because with hardcovers, I don't like keeping the jacket on as I am reading the book. I prefer to keep the jacket off. This one is a slower read for me because of the fact that I'm annotating it. I am 173 pages into it, but my goal is to finish this and to probably pick up The Son of Neptune this month. I don't think I'll get further than The Son of Neptune because these books are always over 500 pages, and like I said, I'm reading it slow because I'm annotating it as I read. So this is what I'm currently reading. I am also currently, I have two audiobooks in rotation. The first one being, like I think of it, Beauty and the Basharam, which is by Lily Val. This is a YA contemporary romance about a girl who is like the perfectionist. She has this competition with another guy. They were friends, but they keep competing with each other about everything, and they are at a get together and they get dared to kiss each other, and it kind of goes from there, which I think is really, really interesting. So some other things that I have queued up, which I don't know that I will necessarily get to in June, I don't know, but some highlights of some other things on my Libby that I am interested in reading this month, probably within the next week or so, are The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton, which I started that one. I kind of took a break from it. I am also looking to pick up Swim Team, which is a middle grade graphic novel. I'm excited for that one. Reclaiming Two Spirits, which is a nonfiction book about sexuality, spiritual renewal, and sovereignty in Native America. Really excited for that one. I think that one is going to be absolutely amazing. I also do have Café Con Lychee. I think that's how you say, I think it's called Lychee. And this one is by Emery Lee. And one that y'all are going to be so surprised by. I have Here's the Deal by Kellyanne Conway, and I'm very intentional for why I'm reading this. I know I'm probably going to be highly upset. It is a book that's over 500 pages. The audiobook is 20 hours, so I know that I'm not going to be too happy about that one. I do have Spy Camp, which is the second book in the Spy series by Stuart Gibbs, which I enjoyed the first one well enough. I have The Wild Ones lined up. I have Once Upon a K-Prom lined up. And then I have two more nonfiction books that I'm looking forward to reading. Truth's Table, which is Black women's musings on life, love, and liberation. And then also African Founders, How Enslaved People Expanded American Ideals. That one is going to be a very long one. That is a 36-hour audiobook. So I'm hoping that I can finish it this month. If no one has it on hold, then I'll get to renew it. If not, I may start it and read a little bit of it and then, come back to it, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that is it for the stuff that I have on my Libby account. As y'all can see, that's a lot. So I have some books here. I'm going to divide this into two parts. I have books, and then I have comics, graphic novels, and manga that I want to read this month. Some of the books that you're going to see on here, and what I'm not going to do, let's put it this way, because I don't want to make this video extremely long. I'm not going to go into the description of everything, which I will make sure that I list the books down below in the description box. If you want to check them out, it's Nat season. I hate gnats. Gnats are like the bane of my existence, but I don't want to go into an explanation of everything or give a summary of everything because of the fact that it's gonna end up being like way too much stuff. This video will end up being 30 minutes and no one wants to sit through a 30-minute TBR video. So praying that this video actually is not 30 minutes. That would suck if I said that and then it ends up being 30 minutes. Just trash. Okay, so the first book that I have is an arc that I need to read because this book comes out in August and I am excited for it, and it is a new middle grade debut, and it's about a Black girl who learns that she's a witch and must save her inner city magic school from closing. And so that's A Taste of Magic by JL. I am really excited for this. I have heard good things about this one, and Bloomsbury was kind enough to send me a copy of this book, but I do want to get it read before it does come out in August. I have not been doing a good job keeping up with my arcs, and that is a-okay. So I do have some physical books here that I thought could be good options for the queer romance readathon. I do have Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This has asexual representation in it, and I read Claire's latest book, which is A Romantic Agenda. It was like a 3.5 star read for me. And that was an adult romance book. So I'm interested in picking this one up because of the fact that it is targeted at a YA audience. And I wonder if I'm going to kind of get a different feel for it. But the main character is Black, biromantic, and asexual. And so I think that this is going to be a very interesting read for me because I don't think I've ever read, I'm 99% sure that I have never read a book where the main character is both biromantic and asexual. The next one that I have that's a possibility is another YA. See, this one for me kind of feels like contemporary, but I think could also possibly be sci-fi-ish. It is about, well, the book is Milo and Marcus at the End of the World. It's about these two guys, teenage guys, Milo and Marcus, and Milo and Marcus were cool at one point. I believe that they were actually dating at one point, and Marcus had gone missing from Milo's life for 3 years. He comes back, and at the same time that he comes back, Mother Nature just happens to go wild, crazy, berserk. Like, a lot of strange things are happening, and so it's them rekindling their relationship while the world is literally falling apart. And I was sent this by Harper Teen, so thank you so much to Harper Teen for sending me a finished copy of this. I'm looking forward to picking this one up. I also was considering a couple of things by Adriana Herrera for the readathon, and so I didn't realize I actually own this much Adriana Herrera. Like, I'm very surprised that I did not know that I own this many. To be honest with you, I did not know. But I have Mangoes and Mistletoe, which I know a lot of people were talking about at one time, and I was tempted to say this for the holidays, but I also think the Queer Romance Readathon is going to be perfect for this. It features a FF relationship, so I'm on the fence about this one, whether I want to say this for the holidays or whether I'm going to read this during the summer. I also have American Dreamer, which features a food truck, and I'm such a foodie. So this one is one that is high on my list of possibilities to read. And then I also have American Love Story, which this one is a romance between a professor and a cop, which I would have never thought that. And the last one that I have is Finding Joy. This is one that I've had on my TBR for a very, very long time. I believe Deidre actually bought me a copy of Finding Joy for my birthday a couple of years ago, and I still haven't read it, so this may be the perfect opportunity for me to pick it up. The next one that I have is one that I have from the Adoris line, and I actually was sent this one by Karina Press, and I never got the opportunity to pick it up. And one of the prompts is to read a book from the Adoris line. Is this just the Adoris? I don't know why I say Adoris. It's Adoris. Oh my gosh. But one of the prompts is to read a book from the Adoris line, and I forgot, and then I remember that I had this copy, which is a sapphic romance. It's about two women. It takes place in Maine. One is an executive chef. It features a single mother and sparks flying when one moves to the town. So it's a small town romance with food involved. I've got to stop. But it's a small town romance with food involved, and I think this is going to be really exciting. The last one that I have is one that Bree sent me a while ago. I believe Bree sent this for my birthday too. This is the Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin, which I think is going to be adorable because it features a romance book club, hence Meet Cute, and these two guys end up meeting at the book club. And so I think that's really, one of the guys runs the book club, and then the other asks if he could join the book club, and I think that that's going to be a fun situation. I've been really enjoying books that talk about books, like the one that I'm reading right now with the Beauty and the Basharam. That one is interesting because it talks about Bookstagram and stuff like that. It's just interesting seeing actual real world things, like book community stuff within a book. I don't know, I'm weird like that, but I think this one's going to be fun as well. Okay, so those are all the physical books that I have. Physical prose books. There's physical graphic novels, comics, and manga here. But some of the stuff that I do want to end up reading that I don't have a physical copy of, 3 authors who I've never read anything from, but they all write historical romance, and they all write queer historical romance, and that also is one of the prompts on the board, is to read books, or read a book that is a historical romance. I cannot talk today. And then one of the authors is bisexual, and one of the authors is trans, so those also fit prompts. So we're killing the board. So those 3 authors, I did not pick out books from them because they have such extensive backlists that I'm I have no idea where to begin. So if y'all have suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But those 3 authors include Kat Sebastian, Olivia Waite, and E.E. Ottoman. All right, historical romance, all right, queer historical romance. And so I really would love if y'all have recommendations on where I should start with any one of those 3 authors. I think that quite a few people in BookTube have read the 3 of them, so I'm taking all suggestions. So the first one, or the next one that I have, not the first, see, told y'all I can't talk. So the next one that I have is Cinderella by S.T. Lin. This one features a main character that is transgender, and it is a take on the classic Cinderella tale. Really excited about this. I believe that this is also it may end up being a Black love romance, but it's also a novella, which fits one of the prompts as well. I also have Neighborly by Katrina Jackson, which I think a lot of people have heard about. Neighborly by Katrina Jackson. This one is one that I've been looking forward to for forever. I just haven't had the opportunity to pick it up. It's 2 couples who move next to each other, and the women in each of the relationships have an attraction to each other. So like so they start, I think this is the way, I believe they start having sex with each other. So I think that this has some polyam stuff going on in it, which I'm down for. I heard it's really, really steamy, but I'm excited for that one. The next one that I have on my list is Drag Me Up by R.M. Virtues, who I absolutely adore. He's amazing, and I have not read any of R.M. Virtues' books, which is that's awful of me, but the group book for the readathon is Drag Me Up, and it is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. I am so looking forward to this one, and it's going to be very hard for me to wait until the 13th to read this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait, because I'm kind of on this kick too. I forgot that I'm also listening to Beast by Katie Robert, and that one is a throuple. It is an MMF romance, and this is probably going to end up being my favorite in the Wicked Villain series. So give me all the like gods and goddesses and all types of stuff in between. I just have been eating that stuff up. So to get a Hades and Persephone's retelling, and I'm sure it's going to be super good because I just keep hearing good things about it. I'm really, really excited for that one. The next one that I have is Human Enough by ESU, and this is a paranormal romance that has queer rep in it. It is I think the main character is pansexual, and there's autism representation, which one of the prompts is to have disability rep, or the author, like disability representation within the book, or the author has a disability. And y'all, this is a vampire paranormal romance, and I'm excited for it because from what I've seen in the reviews, it's not like that creepy like old guy dynamic type of situation going on. I heard that like it's definitely a different take than that. So this is one that I was like, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to read that one. I also have Their Troublesome Crush, which is a queer polyamorous relationship, or queer polyamorous romance, and I also believe that it has disability representation in it as well. Unfortunately, the author of this one has since passed away, but from what I have seen in terms of reviews and their fan base, they are well respected and people seem to adore their works. So that is one that I'm just like, I also wanted to read Love's Divine by Ava Freeman. I have read most, well, not most, I'm bugging. I've read a few of Ava Freeman's works, and Love's Divine is one that I have not read. They write sapphic romance, that's Black love sapphic romance, and I feel like I've read maybe 3 or 4 of Ava Freeman's books. I can't remember because I was definitely like on an Ava Freeman kick in 2020. And I honestly, y'all, I've been audiobooking so much this year that I had not had the opportunity really like to get back into my ebooks and also my physical books, but we're about to change that. So I read the entire After Hours series by Ava Freeman, and then I also I feel like there was something else that I read by Ava Freeman, but I know for a fact that I did read their After Hours series, which I really enjoyed. They have another series which is Friends and Lovers that came out in 2020, and those are also sapphic romances if I'm not mistaken, but I'm really looking forward to picking up Love's Divine, which did come out last year, January of last year. Okay, so that's it for the ebooks. that I have lined up. A lot of those are like KU stuff, and some of them are not, but most of them are pretty accessible in terms of finances. So I have a little bit of comics and graphic novels and manga here that I wanted to read. Some of it does have queer rep in it, some of it does not, but some stuff that I just need to continue. I have Days on Fez here, volumes 3 and 4, which I am looking forward to picking up because I love Days on Fez. This is definitely more slice of life, not really much going on. I read this in April for the 30 and 30 read along. I read volumes 1 and 2, and I'm excited to pick up 3 and 4. Literally about characters who like going to music festivals, like legitimately, like that is what it's about, and I have definitely eaten it up. The next one is My Summer of You volume 2. I read the first volume. I actually need to read this one soon, as in like when I'm done recording this I probably should pick this one up after I work out, because of the fact that this is overdue and I need to get it back into the library. But I read the first volume and really enjoyed it. I read it in January, so I thought I would pick up volume 2. The first volume focused on these two guys. They were really close friends and they go to movies a lot. One of the guy kind of confesses his love for him. It doesn't really like, you know, don't feel like you must be pressured to be with me or say you like me or anything like that. Like, just they liked hanging out together, and you know, clearly a romance develops, and so this is the follow-up to that. The next one that I have is Love Me for Who I Am volume 2. This focuses on a non-binary character, and I really enjoyed the first one. It was really good. The story itself focuses on this group of guys who like dressing up as women and girls in this cafe, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with their sexual orientation or gender identity. They just like doing it, and one of the characters is non-binary, and so they are attempting to teach everyone that just because I present in a certain way doesn't make me whatever you want to make me. I'm allowed to present however I want to present and still identify as non-binary. And so a lot of that first volume was our characters trying to wrap their mind around that, and I think that we had one character falling in love with our protagonist, and so that this is the continuation of that possible relationship. The next one that I have that I haven't had the chance to pick up yet, which I'm excited, this is Seaside Stranger. I read volume 1 for the 30 and 30 challenge, and I quickly put volume 2 on hold. I just haven't had a chance to read it. This is about our two main characters, one that had been out for a while and ended up having to live with his aunt because he came out as gay, and our other main character who had some issues. I can't remember if he lost his mom or something along those lines. I can't remember, but he used to come and used to sit by the seaside, and so our main character would like go and hang out with him, or went to go hang out with him once, and he was like, you know, write me when you go away for school and stuff. It's a Nat. He was like, write me when you go away to school and stuff, and he never does. And then he shows up on his doorstep again, and it's like, I want to be in a relationship with you, and he doesn't realize that like you can't just pop up at someone's door and be like, oh, now you want to be in a relationship with me when you rejected me before. But this is the follow-up to how the relationship develops, and our main character is going home for the first time since he revealed that he was gay, and I believe it's because he has a parent who is sick. So I think this one it may be a little bit more difficult depending upon how his family reacts to his boyfriend actually going home with him. And then I only have 2 more, thank goodness, right? I just have 2 more. That's it, because it's already super ambitious. I have Magical Boy. This is volume 1. It's a graphic novel. I randomly saw it at the library. I don't really know much about it. I just know that this is a fantasy series about a high schooler chosen to become the next magical girl, except he is trans. And so I think that this is the opportunity for him to become the first magical boy, and I'm interested. I haven't looked at any reviews of this, but I'm interested in seeing how this one is going to play out, because that summary is pretty interesting. This could either go really good or it could go really bad, but we will find out. And the last thing that I have is actually a reread. I've read this before, but I'm going to read it again. I actually wanted my own copy, but it is super expensive, y'all. This is like a $75 graphic novel or omnibus, but I really want my own copy. Maybe one day I will get my own copy, but I really want my own copy. And that is the DC Universe Rebirth Omnibus. So this includes all the first issues of the Rebirth series for all of the characters. So this is a big one, and I've been waiting for this bad boy to come into the library for a minute because someone had it checked out and I was waiting to read it. And I've already read this before. Like when it first came out, I read it, and so I want to read it again because I want to start reading Rebirth again, because I was reading Rebirth at one point and then I stopped, but I want to pick it up and read it again. So this is where you start, the Rebirth Omnibus. And some of these are good, some of these are misses, depending upon like your favorite characters. Like there was some, you know, Wonder Woman stuff was good, Flash's stuff was good. There were some characters in here that I was like, I don't really care. I could care less, but I'm gonna read the whole thing anyway. All right, y'all, so that is it. Those are all of the books that I want to read in June. It's a lot, it's extra, it's not gonna all get done, but that's okay. We try and we see where things go. But yeah, let me know in the comment box below whether you are going to be participating in the Queer Romance Readathon, or what queer books are you reading this month. Remember that you should be reading queer books all year long. This is just a great time and opportunity to highlight those books, but you should be reading them 365 days of the year, not just in June, like every other month. It's the perfect opportunity to highlight and to uplift those marginalized communities, but you should be reading these books all year long, okay? All year long. And I'm gonna get off my soapbox. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notification. Looking for ways to support my channel, my Patreon and my wishlist are down in the description box below. As always, I will be back with another video soon.